Hi first grade friends. Today I'm going to be reading to you Giraffes Can't Dance by Giles Andrade and Guy Parker Rees. I hope you enjoy. Giraffes Can't Dance. What do you think this is about? Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees, but when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Do we think this text is fiction or nonfiction? Think about it. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. I think this is a nonfiction text, or a fiction text, I'm sorry, because I don't know a lot of animals that get together for a dance, do you? The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. Do you notice anything special about the words in this book? A lot of them are rhyming words. You've been talking about rhyming words in poetry, so listen and see if you can find the rhyming words when I'm reading. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all sneered. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird." Are they being very kind to Gerald? Not really. Have you ever felt like that? That maybe you couldn't do something very well and your friends weren't very nice to you about it? Let's see what happens to Gerald. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." Look at Gerald's face. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Poor Gerald. I think he's feeling really upset right now. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on, "but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song." Sounds like the cricket over here is kind of encouraging him. There he is, right there. "Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze." So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. What's happening to Gerald? What's happening to him? Is he starting to dance? He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt into the air. Wow. Gerald felt so wonderful, his mouth was open wide. I am dancing, yes, I'm dancing, I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then, one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him, quite entranced. What do you think all these animals are thinking? They made fun of him before, didn't they? I wonder what they're thinking now. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. How do you think Gerald's feeling now? Look at his face. Does his face look different now? Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love. I hope you enjoyed Giraffes Can't Dance. Have you ever felt a little like Gerald before? Like you just couldn't do something so well? Maybe even the people around you didn't think you could do it. Maybe they weren't kind to you. But then you tried, and to your surprise, you were really great at it, and everyone else thought you were really great too. That's why we should always try new things. Sometimes we don't feel very confident, but then when we try them, we learn, hey, I'm pretty good at that. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really like this story. Hope y'all have a great week.